This is exactly right.
We know so much more about our skin than we used to.
And we know how important it is to take care of it with CeraVe.
CeraVe facial cleansers don't strip the skin. They strengthen the skin barrier from day one. I've always used CeraVe.
They have little samples at my dermatologist as I'm leaving, and they don't do that with just anything.
CeraVe is the #1 dermatologist recommended cleanser brand and offers a range of facial cleansers for all skin types. Find yours.
Goodbye.
Get into the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event and get away with a deal so right, it almost feels wrong.
Right now, you can get great deals on Hyundai's most popular models,
including the adventure-ready SUVs like the Hyundai Santa Fe or Santa Fe Hybrid and the Tucson or Tucson Hybrid.
Plus, there's the bold and stylish Elantra loaded with the latest tech.
Or go all-electric with the Ioniq 5 or the Ioniq 9.
So get down to your local Hyundai dealer and get away with a deal you'll love during the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event.
Visit HyundaiUSA.com for details.
Goodbye. Capture your favorite summer feeling with Pandora Jewelry.
Discover a collection inspired by the sunshine, freedom, and moments that make the season unforgettable.
From sun-kissed metals to personalized pieces ready to be engraved with your summer mantra.
Each design moves with you from beach days to golden nights and every memory in between.
Shop Pandora Jewelry's new summer collection in-store or online at pandora.net and let your summer unfold. Goodbye.
Summer is for adventures, road trips, and adding a whole lot of miles to your car.
That's why it's worth stopping at Valvoline Instant Oil Change first.
Their trained techs help you get road trip ready with an oil change and an 18-point maintenance check included with every oil change, checking your tire pressure, wipers, lights, and more.
Valvoline Instant Oil Change techs complete over 270 hours of training, so your car's in capable hands.
Best part? You can stay in your car and you're in and out in about 15 minutes.
Valvoline Instant Oil Change. Change wisely.
Goodbye.
Hello.
Big news, everybody. Exactly Right's newest podcast, Brief Recess, is finally here.
Brief Recess is a smart, funny, and deeply insightful look at the American legal system, the real stories, the loopholes, and all the ways the law shapes everyday life.
It's hosted by attorney and viral TikTok star Michael Foote and his best friend Mélissa Malebranche. They bring humor and clarity to the pressing legal questions that we all have.
Today, we're so proud to bring you episode 1, titled ICE Abuses and Accountability, finally, featuring a conversation with California Congressman Robert Garcia.
So settle in and get ready to hear the very first episode of Brief Recess right here on Exactly Right.
And when you're done, head over to the Brief Recess feed to follow the show and listen to more episodes.
Listen to Brief Recess on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts. And make sure to rate and review because it really helps.
And don't forget, you can watch new episodes every Thursday at youtube.com/@briefrecess.
And now please enjoy Exactly Right's newest podcast, Brief Recess. Goodbye.
Welcome to Brief Recess. I'm Michael Foote.
I'm Mélissa Malebranche.
Today we're going to be talking about the last time I was ever seen in public in a romper, Melissa's last time at an estate sale, the Diddy trial, the time Melissa had to talk to her mother about water sports, Monica Lewinsky deep dives into cases about special immigration juvenile status, an interview with Congressman Robert Garcia, and all the questions you send me in my DMs. I'm Michael Foote. I'm a criminal defense lawyer and an immigration attorney here in New York City. I am the first thing you see in the morning and the last thing you see before your husband disappears. Melissa, would you like to introduce yourself?
I can't believe you just said that. My name is Mélissa Malebranche. I am absolutely positively not a lawyer. I stand by that. I have been working in the nonprofit space for about 25 years now. And Michael and I met, I'd say, about 10 years ago. We've been really good friends ever since.
You called me when your cat died. And that's how I knew we were close friends. Your cat was dying and you called me instead of your husband.
I did, because I knew that you would understand what I was going through, but you wouldn't be as emotional about it as my husband.
People often come to me when they want a direct, emotionless answer. Unless it's like a Saturday night and I've been drinking.
In Brooklyn and eating Taco Bell.
We're going to be talking about all sorts of legal things that come up in the headlines. I've really wanted to start this show with my best friend Melissa because there are so many long form things I can't talk about on social media. And people love coming to like my feeds to learn a little something about what's happening with immigration law, what's going on in court. But I can't like really expand it's hard for me to answer all their questions. So You'll hear a lot on this show. We constantly are going to be returning to this notion of like, what can we be doing, right? Like, I hate the concept of doom scrolling. I hate the notion that people aren't like supporting each other. I hate this idea that like, oh, we're descending into fascism and like, that's it. It was like a think piece.
Right.
I hate that idea. I want people to feel empowered to sort of like flex their democratic muscles to affect some sort of change in their community, even if it's going to a small protest, even if it's like working and volunteering at like your food bank and sort of like looking at the headlines, seeing what's happening and then explaining what's going on and then exactly what you can do about it, rather than it just being like, well, that sucks. On to the next article, right?
Exactly.
So I could never do like a full romper situation.
I feel like I've seen you in a romper, and I don't think that's true at all.
Where'd you see me in a romper?
You were out here on these streets in a romper. Oh, look at us. This morning, Andre asked me if I was starting work at a garage.
Okay, murder on the dance floor. Yeah. Jesus Christ, Andre. That is...
No. So Andre is... I mean, you know Andre, a very conservative little man, like dresses like everybody's dad.
Yes. Yeah.
Like, so like anything out of the ordinary.
I feel like I've given him some things that don't fit me. Like they're too small, so I give them to him.
You have not.
I feel like I've given him a sweater over the years. I
feel like that might be your other black friend that you've given things.
Okay, immediately, instantly racist.
I mean, no, not racist.
I guess,
but I feel like they're Black people who know what I'm talking about. Sometimes you are your white friend's only Black friend. They have like two.
Yeah. No, I understand. I'm the only gay friend for a lot of people. And I'm treated like a mascot sometimes. They're like, get the gay one at the wedding. Get that. No, get
He'll get the party started.
Can you get what's his name? No, we need someone who's looking cute or something nice.
Something.
We gotta get someone.
Like a good dresser.
What's his name again? Mark? It's never.
Like you're not Mike? Like you're not Mike?
I am Mike to a very specific group of people. One demographic calls me Mike. I'm going to give you one chance to guess.
Yeah. Is it somebody from like your childhood?
It's the guy fixing my dishwasher. It's like the guy fixing the plumbing in my apartment. It's always like a man over a certain age
Is it
who
because
works.
they don't know you?
Yeah.
And they see the name is Michael and they decide.
No, it's like my dad's friends. It's people who know me. It's men of a certain white, straight men of a certain age are like, Mike, how's it going? It's a very Long Island thing.
Okay. People randomly call me Michelle for no good reason.
I've called you way worse than Michelle.
Yeah, there are worse things.
Behind your back and to your face. What did you do this weekend? Well, you were working at the garage.
I was, yeah. I changed the carburetor.
Brad will look me right in the eye and be like, oh, Professor Plum is joining us. If I'm wearing like a sweater and a tie, Jesus Christ, it's actually so diabolical. I don't catch strays in my house. I catch them straight to the face.
What did I do this weekend? So this is wardrobe changing time for me.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So I do this biannually.
Oh, Melissa loves a good closet clean out special.
But I recorded something and I was going to post it to TikTok, but I'm not like you. I'm not a prolific poster.
If you're thinking about posting something to TikTok, my number one rule, don't be precious with it. Post it unedited, broken,
I am not
messy.
precious at all.
Yeah.
No. That's not it. It's just a mess. But I was just like, I am actually embarrassed at the amount of shit that I own. It is.
But those are the videos that everyone loves. Those are the videos of mine that blow up when I'm like, hey, I had to pick up a client and I'm wearing coochie cutters and a crop top that's mesh because it's Pride Month. And I ended up having to go to the precinct and it's always so mortifying for me. But those are the videos that usually blow up.
I mean, I actually don't care if the video blows up or not. I mean, maybe I should, but I don't care. But I care that I feel like I have become victim to over consuming, right?
Yeah.
And to be fair, I do buy a lot of thrifted items. We know I love an estate sale, so it's not. But I do buy things also. So let me just be clear about that.
Yeah, and no judgment here. I'm a violent consumer.
I am judging myself.
Okay. All right.
I am judging myself.
I am where disposable income goes to meet its disposal.
Oh, I don't want to be that person.
But there's a difference between not wanting to be someone and accepting who you are. Know thyself.
I know myself, and I am a bitch with too much shit, and it makes
not enough space. Do you have storage?
So that's the thing, right? Is that every year I pack up twice a year.
Right,
I pack
right.
up my shit
Yeah.
and I take it to storage. A storage facility outside of my home.
Okay. So that is actually cry for help.
It
Yeah,
is.
it is a little bit of a.
I need someone to come in and tell me what to do.
I'll do it.
No, not you. Sorry. I need somebody who's not Michael.
I love that my friends don't want to fucking hang
No.
out. They're like,
because
I'm
you
like, I'd love to come over for dinner. They're like, get fucked.
No.
Get out of here.
Because you will enable me.
No.
Yes.
I throw everything out. I'm like, Brad, this has been here for a week. It is it's our tax return. I think we should either, post it online or throw it out. Like, I'm like, this can't be sitting here.
I feel like you would come over and we just wouldn't get anything done.
I feel like it would turn into a runway.
It would.
I do think that we would probably do some sort of fashion show.
I don't want that.
Actually, comment below if you do want to see me go to Melissa's house. We do a full wardrobe. We could do different.
If there's somebody out there who wants to help me take a good, long, hard look at my wardrobe and be like, bitch, you're never going to wear this.
And if you want to enable this dysfunction, please comment on this video that you want us to do a little fashion montage.
This is actually a cry for help and you're not helping.
I think we do a link and people can donate to our, and then we see how much money people give us to do
I am not
fashion
asking
montage.
anybody for money. I'm not.
This is how you get ahead in life.
Maybe.
Actually, speaking of, I saw Alyssa this weekend.
That messy bitch. We love her though.
How do we describe Alyssa? Describe Alyssa for the viewers at home. Alyssa is our very, very close mutual friend.
She's like a really good friend if you want to do something because Alyssa is down for whatever.
Yes.
She's down for whatever. Hey, Alyssa, let's go to Croatia. Yes.
And I get the sense that like her doorman like doesn't know what she looks like because she's never home. Like she's always out. Like she's never out in these streets.
Yeah. I have to tell you, I track Alyssa, and
I do too. I follow her,
because
for her own safety.
And I'm not even kidding. For her own safety, I am oftentimes worried about where she is. Yeah. Has anybody seen her? Where is she?
Melissa will text me in the middle of the night, and she'll be like, "I can't sleep. Just checking. Have you heard from Alyssa recently? I do feel like we should probably keep an eye on her." Yeah. Alyssa taught me how to be chaotic. That is who she is in my life. She's sort of like the personification of like the Winchester mystery home. Like she's just sort of like stove is on, keys are out. I went to her apartment once and there was like all this broken glass in front of the building. And I was like, ooh, rough neighborhood. It was like the West Village.
Right.
I go into the apartment.
And she had dropped something.
I was like, there's so much broken glass. And she was like, oh yeah, I dropped like a whole bag of groceries out there earlier. That was me. Like a 200-person unit. And it was her. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But I did see her. I took her to a drag queen's birthday party. We went to Miss Mamshi.
Again, let me just 1 second. I was not invited.
No, and for your own protection and safety, you would have not gone out at midnight on a Friday night.
Oh, for sure, no. But ask me. Ask me.
No, I don't want to be told no one more time. Get my hopes up, get all excited.
Well, you won't get your hopes up because you know better, right? Because you know I'm probably not coming, but I would like to be included.
Okay. I'll just... It was also like deep in Brooklyn and you don't live anywhere near that.
No, I don't.
You would have been like, this is a 4-hour flight for me to get there from where I live.
When I first started dating my now husband, I was living in Brooklyn and he was not. Yeah. And it felt like a long distance relationship. It really did. And I mean, it really wasn't that far in theory, but it felt.
What do we say? It'd be like that.
It'd be like that. And it felt like he was behind God's back.
Brad lived in Hoboken.
Oh, God.
And when you have to cross state lines, interstate commerce like that, it really does. I was all the way in the East Village. There was like no like clear transit. It was actually really a pain in the ass.
Not a part of how Diddy got in trouble, just crossing state lines.
We're 3 minutes into the episode and Diddy's already come over and talking about Diddy trafficking. Okay, we're going to go right into sidebar.
Okay.
And I think we've got a nice natural entree into the Diddy case because Melissa's mother, Magali, throw up a photo of Magali, CJ. She is an icon. She is the moment. She is her. She is all of.
Yes. My mother is, we often say that my mom is the queen of the kingdom in her mind.
Yes. A legend in her. She is every woman.
Yeah, it's all in her.
Yeah, it's all. And she will never listen to this show.
She might if I tell her that we give her a shout out. Oh, okay, yeah.
What is the Department of Redundancy department she calls me?
Département of Redundancy Département.
I'm not going to do the accent because I'll get canceled.
So my mom has always loved like a salacious legal case.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, who doesn't?
A lot of moms do.
Right. So, like, I remember back in the day, you were a child. However, the O.J. Simpson case, my mother was living for this case.
Oh.
Living for this
Every
case.
mom in America.
Cut to Diddy. And my mom is just like...
Cut through 30 years of history. We're straight to Diddy.
Straight to Diddy.
Yeah.
She's also really into, like, the... What's his name? Johnny Depp one. Like, she was into it.
Yep.
So, and now she's got nothing but time. So, I mean, we all strive to be retired.
Yeah, we do.
Right?
Yeah, I would love that.
So she was like, have you been watching the Diddy case? And I was like, to be honest, not really. Like, I'm in and I'm out or whatever. And she's like, well, he's definitely going to go to jail. This is before.
This was when it was first really hitting the headlines.
And I was just like, yeah, it's not looking very good for him. And her whole reason.
It wasn't.
I mean, it didn't end well for him.
Yeah,
I mean, it ended better than it could have.
If someone drew a sketch of me, the way those court reporters drew sketches of Diddy, I would be on the evening news. Michael Foote threw himself off a building in embarrassment. That was so wicked, wild, diabolical. That was a crime in and of itself, drawing someone like that.
You reap what you sow, Sean. What? And also, let me.
I just haven't heard someone say you reap what you sow in quite some time.
I say that all the time.
It's very Mel Gibson in Signs. Like it is very much like this bucolic imagery it evokes of like we're in the fields growing corn. You reap what you sow.
You do. You reap what you sow.
That's an American farmer subsidy shout out right there. Shout out to you, all the American farmers working hard here in this country in the Midwest.
So her whole thing was he's definitely going to jail. And I was like, okay, it's not looking good for him. Why do you think so?
Agreed. And Melissa called me and told me this, and I walked straight into the street with my dog, didn't look either direction.
I had the most uncomfortable conversation with my mother about water sports. My mother was convinced that this man was going to go to jail because he had engaged in water sports.
This was in her mind. Make it clear, this was the crime that he committed in her mind.
This was the crime. And I was trying to explain to my mom, I'm like, well, it's not. Some people like that. No, Mélissa. C'est pas possible.
She's rewriting the legislation.
Yeah. She was like,
to include water sports as a federal crime.
She's like, people don't like that. And I was just like, I mean, they might. And she was just like, no, he's going straight to jail for exactly that. I should also... And
no due process, no jurisprudence.
This is why he should go to jail. Yeah. He deserves it. I mean, and again, back in the day, Monica Lewinsky, I was in the car with my mom. I will never forget this. Listened to some NPR show or something where they were talking about Monica Lewinsky's sexual past. And Monica Lewinsky and I are around the same age, give or take a year or two. And I think it came out that before Bill, Monica had like maybe 2 or 3 sexual partners beforehand. And my mom was like, disgusting.
Oh, no.
And so I'm in the car with my mom and I'm driving and I am not making any moves.
Yeah, meanwhile, you can't move. No.
Like, oh no.
Oh no.
And I went home and I called a friend of mine.
And I locked the door. I waited till she was...
My mom was upset that Monica Lewinsky has had like 1 or 2 guys. And she was like, did you keep your mouth shut? I was like... firmly. So this is who my mom is.
But for Diddy, we have to... Well, first of all, I think I'm going to meet Monica Lewinsky next week.
Can I come?
I know. I'll text you the details.
Okay.
Yeah.
I really want
to. It is like my friend anyway is getting me in to meet with her. So I don't know if I can like sneak someone in, but I won't bring you to the drag queen's birthday. I will bring you to meet Monica Lewinsky.
Like pick and choose, my friend.
Yeah. I feel like that's equally, exciting.
I think if I have to choose, I'd rather meet Monica Lewinsky.
Well, okay, but let me explain the drag queen, Miss Ma'am. She does deadpan drag to like very hilarious songs like Ding, Ding, Ding went the trolley, but her face is like... the whole time.
And let me
we'll
just tell
throw
you,
up a clip.
It's not ding, ding, ding.
And clang, clang, clang.
Clang,
right.
clang, clang.
We can't sing on the show because we'll get sued. But she always has like a tag. We can speak lyrics.
Okay.
That's copyright law. She always has like the tag on her outfit still. It's like still on the It's so good. It's so great. You have a couple drinks, it's great. Anyway, I'll bring you to meet Monica. But Diddy, the thing about that I was just so incredulous was Melissa's mother, each time she brought up one of the horrific things she was being charged with people testifying, the awful testimony. I mean, it was really extreme.
Oh, it was terrible. Yeah.
Melissa's mother was like, but the water sports. That was what was really, she couldn't get over it.
She refuses to believe that anybody could be into that. And I was trying to, and then finally I was like,
I'm just like acutely aware of how much water I'm drinking right now as we're talking about this.
Listen, that's fine.
I'm actually out. Let's take a brief recess.
You're a grown-ass man.
We're going to take a break.
We know so much more about our skin than we used to.
10 years ago, no one in America knew what a skin barrier was.
It's time to take care of your skin with CeraVe.
CeraVe facial cleansers don't strip the skin. They strengthen the skin barrier from day one.
Formulated with 3 essential ceramides, hyaluronic acid, and niacinamide to provide long-lasting hydration and 12-hour oil control. I've been using CeraVe for over a decade, I would think. And now it's getting super trendy. And I don't know why, it just makes me proud that something I've used for so long is cool on socials now. But it really does work. And that's why it's been around so long.
No matter your skin type or concern, CeraVe has facial cleansers perfect for you and your skin barrier.
CeraVe is the #1 dermatologist recommended cleanser brand and offers a range of facial cleansers for all skin types. Find yours.
Goodbye. The Hulu original series Furious is now streaming on Hulu and Hulu on Disney+. From Liz Merriweather, the Emmy-nominated executive producer of Dying for Sex and The Dropout, comes a gripping psychological thriller.
Starring Emmy Rossum, Furious follows Alice Black, a rookie FBI agent on the hunt for Catherine, a mysterious and calculating female serial killer.
It's Alice's first case on the job, and she's already bitten off more than she can chew.
While Alice believes justice is achieved through law enforcement, Catherine has lost all faith in the legal system.
She's taken it upon herself to terrorize the rich and powerful men of New York in her pursuit of vengeance.
As Alice and Catherine's twisted game of cat and mouse unfolds, the lines between good and evil and right and wrong begin to blur.
With shocking crimes, tangled relationships, and secrets that change everything, Alice discovers there's a thin line between hunter and prey.
Watch the Hulu original series, Furious.
Now streaming on Hulu and Hulu on Disney Plus for bundle subscribers. Terms apply.
Goodbye. There's nothing better than just laying around.
Whether you're fully horizontal or at a slant, it cannot be beaten.
Unless, of course, you have a Lola blanket.
Lola is the world's #1 blanket, crafted with ultra-soft luxury vegan faux fur and a signature 4-way stretch that sets it apart.
Their products are machine washable and double hemmed for durability, and they stay flawless. No pilling, no shedding, even after repeated washes.
And there's more. Lola also makes weighted blankets, matching pillow sets, and super soft pet beds.
Lola is a great go-to gift. It's personal, beautiful, and something your loved ones can actually use every day.
For a limited time, our listeners can get 40% off select Lola Blankets products with code MFM at checkout.
Just head to lolablankets.com and use code MFM to get 40% off your order.
After you purchase, they'll ask you where you heard about them. Please support our show and let them know we sent you.
Wrap yourself in luxury with Lola Blankets.
Goodbye. The future has an annoying habit of always showing up.
That's why now is a great time to start planning ahead.
Enter Acorns.
Acorns is a smart way to give your money a chance to grow. You can sign up in minutes and start automatically investing, even if it's your spare change.
The Acorns potential screen shows you the power of compounding and how your money could grow over time. You can quickly adjust how much you're investing every day, week, or month to make sure you're always building towards your goals.
Whether you're just starting out or thinking about settling down, Acorns supports your big and small goals across every stage of life. Sign up now and Acorns will boost your new account with a $5 bonus investment.
Join the over 14 million all-time customers who have already saved and invested over $27 billion with Acorns.
Head to acorns.com/MFM or download the Acorns app to get started.
Paid non-client endorsement compensation provides incentive to positively promote Acorns.
Tier 2 compensation provided, potential subject to various factors such as customers' accounts, age, and investment settings.
Does not include Acorns fees. Results do not predict or represent the performance of any Acorns portfolio. Investment results will vary. Investing involved. involves risk.
Acorns Advisors, LLC, an SEC registered investment advisor. View important disclosures at acorns.com/MFM. Goodbye.
Welcome back to Brief Recess. I'm Michael Foote.
I'm Mélissa Malebranche.
This is Under Oath. We're going to take a deep dive into a case. This one is actually really near and dear to me and my heart and a lot of what my day-to-day life looks like. So I pictured I thought it'd be cool to kind of talk to you about it. The name of the case is Sarmiento et al. V. Perry et al. So it's a class action lawsuit that the ACLU filed against ICE, effectively submitting a class action lawsuit of a group of minors who were seeking immigration status here in the U.S. and were not being given the opportunity to be bonded out of detention centers. So they were being held for long periods of time in detention centers.
Okay. And when you say minors, give me an idea.
Sure, yeah. So anyone under the age of, actually, I think it might be 21, is for special immigration juvenile status. It's people under the age of 21.
Okay.
We call it SIJ as a shorthand, but special immigration juvenile status is a protected status that minors can seek in the U.S. It's usually, you have to prove certain things. So one of them is that you were neglected, abandoned, or abused by a parent in your home country. So that can be you never had a relationship with your father and you don't know him and he's no part of your life.
Okay.
Or it can be that, your parents abandoned you. Sometimes there are really extreme cases, which are, a lot easier to kind of prove. And then there are others where it's like, I don't know who my father is and I'm going to be establishing custody in the U.S. with a relative.
Okay.
So it's usually just one parent that you sort of have to prove that there was something abnormal about the relationship.
Okay.
But the interesting thing that sort of came up in this case that I thought I could weigh in on was how important it is that people are bonded out hard stop, but especially in SIJ cases. And that's because SIJ is one of these things where you and your lawyer are running around the city to all sorts of different courts to get documentation, to get judgments, to get rulings from judges so that you can bring it back to immigration court and show them that like you're doing your due diligence. For example, you usually have to go to family court, which is like in a different borough sometimes, or it takes a really long time to get that hearing date. I've worked SIJ cases. It's taken years just to even get like a date for your application to be reviewed.
Let me ask you this. What happens if somebody, because if you said it takes years sometimes, what happens if the person ages out while this is going on?
That's a great question. We're often dealing with like hard deadlines. I made a video recently about appeals and how we sort of, the deadline is when the application is received, not when you submit it for certain things. So deadlines are insane in any industry, but especially in immigration law, the stakes are so high.
Right.
So for SIJ, it is when it's filed. Okay. So even if there's a backlog in the government agency that you're working with, as long as it's the date that your attorney files it, you're still below the requisite age.
Okay.
That's like such an important question because sometimes people are not sure about that, but
sure. So as long as the date that it was submitted is before you've aged out, then you should be okay in terms of moving forward with the case.
Exactly.
Okay.
And so in this case, the plaintiffs are suing ICE, stating that they're being held without a bond hearing and that it violates their Fifth Amendment due process rights. So they're not even given the opportunity to argue whether they should be bonded out of a detention center. It is developing law. By the time this episode airs, the law might have changed. So the thing about this specifically is that there was a recent ruling in September where if you were not inspected, so upon arrival in the U.S., so let's say you arrived undocumented, you crossed the border illegally, you don't have standing to seek bond in court if you are detained. So that is like a new thing. It's still being hammered out. It's being appealed. Like it's going to work its way up through the courts. But right now, a lot of people are trying to get bonded out who crossed the border illegally. And this new ruling, this new case law that came down in September, has sort of messed with that. So I have people reaching out to me for bond and I'm like, I honestly couldn't even file something for you if I wanted to, or if I had time to.
So, I mean, I just wonder what, especially, what happens to these people? I mean, especially talking about kids, the idea of somebody who's 10 years old is sort of in this purgatory what happens to them?
It's a great question, and it's something that I think needs more attention, especially in the media. I think oftentimes immigration law is like, ooh, that's so complicated. Even lawyers will call me. Like, this woman called me and she was like, the lady who does my nails just got arrested. I'm a lawyer, but I don't know how to do this stuff. Like, immigration law is like one of the most complicated areas of law.
Right.
And it's because of the decentralized nature of the government agencies that we're working with. I mean, when I'm having someone fingerprinted, it gets sent to North Dakota. When I file their BIA appeals, it goes to Church Falls, Virginia. Like, it makes absolutely no sense.
Yeah.
I think what sort of happens is, especially in these cases, like, we're talking about child welfare here. Like, these are children being locked up and they're being detained for an indeterminate amount of time. I think, like, public perception, public advocacy, people's people giving this any sort of energy or attention, I think they'll sort of start to see, like, how many awful things happen in detention centers, right? Like, how many lawsuits are there around sexual violence in detention centers? So this is happening on U.S. soil. It is, I'm so glad to see that there is a lawsuit, because I have to say, as an attorney, I'm really remiss reading the headlines that there aren't a lot of people talking about this. There aren't a lot of law firms taking up cases and filing lawsuits like this. There's been a chilling effect with the Trump administration where law firms are like, we are not going to be suing. We are not going after.
They're afraid.
Like, they are afraid that they're going to be. And what does it come down to? It comes down to people's wallets. It comes down to the pocketbooks of these big firms. And they're not going after the government agencies and really having some sort of, like, stand, right? And it's awful because it's like, I don't know, it kind of gets to the heart of, like, being an attorney for me. It's like, why the fuck did you do this then? Like, there are so many, like, faster ways to make money than being a lawyer, and you got into this to not help people, to not do the right thing. Like, we're supposed to be officers of the court. We're people who are supposed to be, like, ensuring justice is served or seeking out justice, or accountability is held somewhere, right? And to then be like, well, it's going to hit our bottom line. We don't want to beef with the Trump administration. It's like, well, then who the fuck are you? Like, if you're not going to be doing that, then what are you doing?
I wonder.
I'm excited. I'm going to be following this closely. I do think there's a strong chance that there will be some sort of at least partial relief for the plaintiffs, mostly because the child welfare protections courts take that really seriously. And there is sort of a pretty big due process concern in this case. I'm going to be watching this closely to see, mostly because once there's a decision made, my day-to-day job as an attorney who handles bond hearings will change overnight. It will be one of those rulings where I get to the courthouse and what I'm doing that day is something different than what I thought it was going to be. And I live for that shit because I am a messy bitch and I do love a little bit of chaos every now and then. I was born and raised by Alyssa, our most chaotic friend.
And you're a Taurus.
We're both Tauruses.
No, I know.
Yeah, I love that.
Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
They're in these detention centers with...
Are they, like, segregated from adults?
Yeah.
That's actually a great question.
Is anybody, like...
I actually don't know.
Okay.
Because it is so impossible for attorneys to access clients who are being held at detention. It's actually such a pain in the ass for me to even have a call with a client who's detained. And I was part of a lawsuit with the ACLU a couple of years ago where we sued because I was, like, bored one summer during COVID. So I, like, worked with them. I'm serious. And I basically, like...
You also had 2 broken feet, but
I
that's
broke both
story.
my feet jogging, yes. Was laid up in casts. And what I would do is I would take a group of cases in different detention centers around the country, and I would attempt to get in contact with my client and then document how difficult it was. And I was one of the lawyers, all that information got fed into this lawsuit, and they sued and won. They were like, lawyers cannot access their clients. Right. So it's really hard. And detention centers are intentionally outside of city limits. They're really far away from a metropolis to ensure that people cannot access legal counsel. They're usually in, like, a wasteland. I had to go to one in, I think it was, like, in Alabama, and I had to fly into a different state. I didn't want to drive, so I'm wealthy enough. I hired a car to drive me there because I was like, I'm not going to be driving in the middle of northern Georgia, Alabama. I had someone drive me just for one hearing. It was crazy.
Yeah, I just keep thinking the idea of a kid being alone.
It's terrifying.
And, and somebody needs to be the voice for these kids, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. I think my clients who are kids, minors, are the ones that I end up being closest with as
because they need it.
Like a social worker.
Yeah.
More than,
right.
Totally.
Because they need the help more than obviously anybody who's in
detention. And a lot of the
needs
times,
the help,
the lawyer is like, the parent has trusted the lawyer to like be there for that person.
I don't know that there are enough people who are going to law school who get into it because they really have this deep down desire to push the idea of like social justice or just justice in general.
Like, no, it's true. That is true.
I'm going to go to law school and I am going to be a real estate lawyer because I want to make a ton of money. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's wonderful that you're thinking about it that way. And Michael is not alone. I know there are a lot of attorneys.
I'm also not perfect. Like,
no. Nobody
it's very easy to.
No one thinks
it's very easy to like lose your way. Like I have lost my way many times in life, like as a lawyer, like even after graduation where, you do sort of get dazzled by the dollars or you don't want to take that pro bono case because you are too busy or like life happens. Like people have families, like people get dogs, like, shit goes down. Right. And so I just feel like, I don't know. I want other lawyers to feel like, it's cool for me to be like, hey, Michael, how do I get involved? How'd you get started?
Right.
I get a lot of messages like that where people are like, hey, like, how'd you get your first like pro bono case? How'd you learn how to do this stuff? Like, I wasn't always this psychopath that I am today.
No, I think you probably were always a psychopath, maybe not the one that you are today. However, I think
Bellevue knocks on the door.
I think that to your point, I think sometimes there comes a point in everybody's life where you're like, you know what? I've done the thing that I'm going to do, right? Like I went to college or not or whatever, and now I have a job and I'm just sort of like plugging away. I think about this a lot, right? What is going to be my other thing that I do that is helpful?
Yeah.
I think there comes a moment in your life where you're like, oh, you know what? I'm going to sit down. I'm going to think about how I can help. And for you as an attorney, you have this skill.
Yeah.
You have this degree and you were like, you know what? I now have the time.
Yeah.
And I'm now inclined to
when we
do
talk to
something.
Congressman Garcia later, let's ask him. You should ask him like what you can do, like what the differences are, because I think that could be cool to hear from someone in a position of power in the government of like what they think their constituents or just like civically engaged Democrats can be doing to help a situation.
What can we do to help? How can we be helpful?
How do you help now? What do you do to, I mean, I know like you volunteer, you go to protests, like you get involved, you are like someone that I look to, like you've helped me find my way many times. But I don't know. I think you're a wealth of advice and wisdom.
I mean, so not speaking about sort of like helping people who need, but in terms of like wealth of advice and wisdom, I'm going to tell you what I think, no matter what, whether you want to hear it or not. Right. Like, and I am a big, I told you so person, which is not my best quality, but it is, we are who we are. Right. And what's really funny is that like, I don't tell people I told them so nearly as often as I want to. I like keep it, I tamp it down.
Yes, she does. It is.
I can't help it. I can't help it.
You had fucking skywriting. I told you so for me one day. Who the fuck do you think you are on my show?
Sorry. I think I might get a tattoo.
Wait, I would do that.
I told you so.
I've got
Yeah.
Mine could just be, she told me so.
I told him so. In terms of helping, I will say that, yes, I go to protests and yes, I will. I'm big on like reaching out to my congressperson. I've sent letters to my governor, my mayor. But I will tell you that I struggle often with not knowing exactly what to do because I feel like what I want to do is something that I think will push the needle, right?
Yeah.
Like, what can I do? Who can I help? Even if it's like one person, right? Who can I help?
It's this feeling of helplessness that I think everyone is feeling right now.
100%.
Yeah. Even like someone who I'm very much in a position to do something, right?
But you do it.
Yeah. I was out running. I was traveling and I was out jogging in my hometown. And on the corner of like the little main street, and it's like this like little tiny little town on Long Island, there were all these retirees who had like No Kings posters.
I love that.
And they were protesting, and I was talking to them. It's the North Fork Women for Women Fund, NIFWIFWIFs. That is their name.
Okay. I love that.
I'm not having a stroke, NIFWIFWIFs.
Okay.
And they were telling me that they take shifts. Every day they're on that corner working shifts, protesting. I was like, this is amazing. I love this so much. And they were, how do I like nicely describe? They were retired women.
Okay.
Of a certain age.
Sure. That's how retires.
Yeah.
Works.
There were no like young startup retirees who retired at 30.
Right.
But I feel like a lot of people their age probably are feeling like they can't do anything or they cannot get involved. And it was just like such a cool example where I was like, oh, look at these baddies. Look at these icons.
Yeah.
Anyway, this has been Under Oath. Let's take a break.
We know so much more about our skin than we used to.
10 years ago, no one in America knew what a skin barrier was.
It's time to take care of your skin with CeraVe.
CeraVe facial cleansers don't strip the skin. They strengthen the skin barrier from day one.
Formulated with 3 essential ceramides, hyaluronic acid, and niacinamide to provide long-lasting hydration and 12-hour oil control. I've been using CeraVe for over a decade, I would think. And now it's getting super trendy. And I don't know why, it just makes me proud that something I've used for so long is like cool on socials now. But it really does work. And that's why it's been around so long.
No matter your skin type or concern, CeraVe has facial cleansers perfect for you and your skin barrier.
CeraVe is the #1 dermatologist recommended cleanser brand and offers a range of facial cleansers for all skin types. Find yours.
Goodbye. The Hulu original series Furious is now streaming on Hulu and Hulu on Disney+. From Liz Merriweather, the Emmy-nominated executive producer of Dying for Sex and The Dropout, comes a gripping psychological thriller.
Starring Emmy Rossum, Furious follows Alice Black, a rookie FBI agent on the hunt for Catherine, a mysterious and calculating female serial killer.
It's Alice's first case on the job, and she's already bitten off more than she can chew.
While Alice believes justice is achieved through law enforcement, Catherine has lost all faith in the legal system.
She's taken it upon herself to terrorize the rich and powerful men of New York in her pursuit of vengeance.
As Alice and Catherine's twisted game of cat and mouse unfolds, the lines between good and evil and right and wrong begin to blur.
With shocking crimes, tangled relationships, and secrets that change everything, Alice discovers there's a thin line between hunter and prey.
Watch the Hulu original series, Furious.
Now streaming on Hulu and Hulu on Disney Plus for bundle subscribers. Terms apply.
Goodbye. There's nothing better than just laying around.
Whether you're fully horizontal or at a slant, it cannot be beaten.
Unless, of course, you have a Lola blanket.
Lola is the world's #1 blanket, crafted with ultra-soft luxury vegan faux fur and a signature 4-way stretch that sets it apart.
Their products are machine washable and double hemmed for durability, and they stay flawless. No pilling, no shedding, even after repeated washes.
And there's more. Lola also makes weighted blankets, matching pillow sets, and super soft pet beds.
Lola is a great go-to gift. It's personal, beautiful, and something your loved ones can actually use every day.
For a limited time, our listeners can get 40% off select Lola Blankets products with code MFM at checkout.
Just head to lolablankets.com and use code MFM to get 40% off your order.
After you purchase, they'll ask you where you heard about them. Please support our show and let them know we sent you.
Wrap yourself in luxury with Lola Blankets.
Goodbye. Summer means a whole new world for your feet.
They're walking more, sweating more, and going barefoot all day long.
For summer feet that need real comfort, there's Bombas.
Bombas has a whole line of sport-specific socks for golf, yoga, the gym, and every kind of runner.
They also make soft, supportive compression socks that are especially great for summer travel.
Bombas sandals and slides are made from super lightweight, cushy, waterproof EVA foam, so they feel incredibly comfortable.
And the best part? For every item you buy, Bombas donates an essential clothing item to someone facing housing insecurity, with over 200 million donations and counting.
I wore my Bombas compression socks on the plane ride to and from Italy. And listen, I'm a girl of a certain age at this point. It needs to be done. And I felt so comfy and so secure with my cute little Bombas socks.
So head over to bombas.com/MFM and use code MFM for 20% off your first purchase.
That's BOMBAS.com/MFM, code MFM at checkout.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
So, Melissa, I'm really excited because Congressman Garcia is joining us today.
That's going to be great. I can't wait.
He's the former mayor of
Long Beach,
California. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And he's the U.S. representative from California's 42nd district. He's been there since 2023. He's actually an immigrant himself from Peru. Mm-hmm. So it'll be really interesting to talk to him about ICE, what's happening there, what he's doing as a congressperson to sort of advocate for immigrant communities. Also the first openly gay immigrant in Congress, which is very cool. He I think he was undocumented at one point when he first emigrated. So it's a very cool, interesting sort of entree into American politics. What he's sort of working on, I think, will inform how Americans really engage with the news cycle, right? I mean, we're always talking about how can we ensure that people are civically engaged and have real next step action items. I feel like a lot of what's happening in American democracy right now is like, well, it's just terrible and
nothing to do. Just throw your hands up and give up. Yeah.
And I think it'll be cool to kind of talk to him and be able to really say like, hey.
Right. And I love the fact that, I think it also helps when people can see themselves in their elected officials. So the fact that he is an immigrant, the fact that he's out, openly gay, like all those things I think sort of help put the information out. Right?
I also love a fierce diva who's like, I'm going to let my identity govern like how I enter the workplace, I enter, like use my work. I'm sick of this whole, like my life is separate from my job. It ain't. I'm a fierce diva in the courtroom as well as at home. I'm winning arguments in my kitchen.
Are you though? Somebody call Brad. Get Brad on the phone.
I'm getting impeached in my fucking kitchen.
Get Brad on the phone.
Oh, all right. Congressman.
Guilty.
All right. Shut up. Congressman's calling. I got to stop talking about it. Welcome to Brief Recess, Congressman.
Hey, guys. How are you?
Hi, Congressman.
Hi, Congressman.
Thank you for joining us. I know that we actually just got the press release of what you've been working on, of the new legislation. So why don't you take us in of what you've sort of been focused on today, it sounds like.
I mean, obviously, there's a lot going on, and the horrors of the Trump administration never end. Today, we're really focused on and trying to really zero in on just the horrific actions by the administration, certainly Secretary Noam, Stephen Miller, and what's happening with ICE across the country. There are two things that we're looking at right now. One is we've all been reading the reports of the now upwards of 170 U.S. citizens that have now been detained, in many cases sent to these facilities by ICE and by other federal agents, and who essentially have stories of being in the centers for days and days without any access to lawyers or family because they didn't have their ID. And these are U.S. citizens who are being targeted, racially profiled because of the color of their skin. And we know that now if ICE is doing this to U.S. citizens, you can imagine how others are being treated at these centers and facilities. And so we have a broad investigation going right now through oversight into Kristi Noem, into their actions across the country. But we're also especially partnering with the Senate, and the Senate's oversight team and Senator Blumenthal and us are specifically going to do a joint bicameral investigation into what's happening to United States citizens across this country as well. What I've told folks is, look, what's happening to citizens is horrific, but we're also reminding people that what's happening to non-citizens, they also have due process rights. I mean, the Constitution is so clear.
Correct.
And so we have a lot of work to do, but we were in LA with Mayor Bass making that announcement today.
And it's interesting you bring this up. I really wanted to talk to you about what specifically does that mean, right? I think we oftentimes hear in the news, like, we're investigating this, we're looking into this, bicameralism. Could you get specific about, like, what does that literal to-do list look like when you get to the office, right? Like, walk us through it, because I think it's important for people to hear. These words have almost become pointless to a lot of Americans. Oh, we're investigating. Oh, there's an oversight committee. Oh, we're going to be looking into it. I think we've been used and abused in so many ways as Americans that these words have sort of like lost value. So I want people to hear like exactly what you're doing, because I know you, I know your team, I know you've been working on this. And I understand it on like a granular level from the courtroom, but I think it's important for people to hear really what that means for you.
Absolutely. No, this is great, because I love explaining kind of how oversight.
Yeah.
So I think
process matters, right? Like, what's the process? I think it's so important.
So there's two pieces of this which I think are important, and that is how and who is leading the investigations, and then what we're actually trying to accomplish and do. So let me start by saying, look, I've been the lead Democrat on the Oversight Committee. The Oversight Committee in the U.S. House is the lead investigations committee that exists under our Constitution in the U.S. Congress. And so obviously the job of Congress is oversight, and oversight is where most of the major investigations end up. Now, I'm a pretty newer member to the Congress. I was mayor of Long Beach, California for 8 years. I got to Congress now a little over 2 years ago. And so I was not the most senior person to take on this job.
Right.
And I think in my pitch to the Democratic caucus, I said, look, we have to do things differently. We got to bring change. We need people to be more aggressive. We need to bring that fight that Republicans bring to these investigations. And, the pitched work, I'm the first sophomore to lead a committee in 100 years in the U.S. And I mention that because I think what you said is really true, that oftentimes we will launch an investigation or folks will say they're going to hold folks accountable, and then it just gets lost in kind of Washington speak.
Right. Or we hear about it like 2 years later that they kind of found something, but they weren't really. And it does get kind of lost in the wash there.
It does. And that is not me first. I'm an immigrant myself. And so this is very personal to me. And it's something that I know I've lived through the experience. I've been undocumented. I understand what the lived experience is. And then the second piece is, I think people just should take, I've been the lead on investigations now for about maybe 4 months in the Congress for Democrats. And I show people what we've just done on the Epstein files, for example. Like we are getting so much information out on the Epstein files because we're being aggressive and we're not waiting to be in the majority. And so the way oversight works is when you are in the minority, so Democrats are in the minority in Congress, we have limited powers. We don't have subpoena power. We don't have powers to get any document we want or anyone from the committee, but we still can investigate on our own. And so that's what we're doing now. We're not waiting to be in the majority to investigate. However, when we do win the majority in 2026, you can believe that we will be sending out subpoenas and getting information from Christian Ellum, from Stephen Miller, from folks that are causing harm, from Holman, just a variety of folks that we are interested in. But the work has to start now. So that's a little bit about kind of why we have to bring new people into the party and at the table and leading these committees is because a new approach is also needed. And then the second piece is it is still in the minority. These investigations have the enormous ability to also help in many of the court cases that are happening. And so we partner with folks.
That's just what I was going to say, papering the record, documentation, so that court cases can move forward with that.
Documentation is so important to put out into the public record what's actually happening and what we know. And so many of the successful cases that are happening right now in the courts actually reference or use many of the investigations or the documents that we are requesting of agencies to build the case. And so it's all very important work.
I wanted to ask you, because on this show, we really like to focus on ways that everyday Americans or other attorneys can get involved to do something. I think so much of the internet, so much of the news cycle is doom scrolling. It is getting lost in the weeds. It is, articles about literally how America is headed towards fascism with no actual action items on what people can do, how they can get involved, things that they can do to flex their democratic muscles. Where do you need me, an immigration attorney, right? Like, what would your advice be to me, an immigration attorney, or to me, Melissa, who is a civically engaged Democrat? Like,
not an attorney, but I care very much about what's happening in my community. I also come from an immigrant family. What can I do?
Where do you need us? Yeah. And I think it's so important that people really hear from leadership, right? Like, what can we be doing, boots on the ground, to support these efforts?
So two things. So one is obviously I'm going to talk specifically about what specifically you can do to help what we're doing on the investigation side. So that's one piece of it. Broadly speaking, I was just right now with maybe 50 kind of immigration community activists and leaders from different groups that are on the ground doing this work right now in Los Angeles. And what they are modeling just the behavior. We're talking about attorneys that are working with immigration groups. We're talking about immigration advocates that are trying to visit these detention centers. We're talking about folks that are doing rapid response on the ground. I talked to folks that are just donors that are donating to kind of these rapid response networks. I talked to faith leaders who are bringing in parishioners who are out communicating and working with families that are oftentimes even too scared to leave their home. And so I have found that in every community, there is a group or people that are actually doing this work, whether it's a local church, whether it's a local immigration organization, whether it's a group of lawyers that are doing some pro bono work or working within the legal defense space. There's a lot of ways to get involved broadly. Specifically, our oversight committee is doing two things where people can get directly engaged. One is in the next few weeks, you're going to hear, we'll put this out. We're going to be launching a massive kind of one-stop ICE and information tracker for the.
That's great.
Okay,
that's so great.
That is going.
We need it.
Yeah, absolutely.
I need it.
And it doesn't exist right now, and so we want to make sure that we are tracking every instance of abuse and terror that is being right now put out and being done every day by ICE and by and folks. And so we're working on building that right now. And we have some groups that are assisting us with that as well. So folks will be able to submit video information to this tracker so that we can keep all of the information also, and from a national perspective, that's
so important. So as someone who gets so many people reaching out to me for help, that is 90% of the things are just info sharing. You don't actually need an immigration attorney half the time, but just people are just trying to figure out what's going on. And I think that's really important.
Exactly. So that's going to be a way for people to be able to communicate with us directly and send us information so that we have it on and able to share it into the public record. The second piece, and I know this sounds but you said it earlier, just for purposes of winning in the courtroom, we have to not just win and obviously in public opinion, we have to win in the courtroom. And for us to win in the courtroom, and we have to document, and we need to build the case. And it takes work, and it takes putting all this.
It does. It really does for people who don't.
And so, and for us in Congress, that it's critical for us to have all this information. The second piece, which we announced today, is we're going to be launching some field hearings that will be happening in communities across the country. Our very first one is going to be in Los Angeles. We'll be announcing the date, hopefully here in the next week.
That'd be great. Share it with us. We can put it out on the channel.
That's great. And with the field hearing is going to be an opportunity for members of Congress in the community to come together and listen to testimony from people in the community. And we're going to also provide ways where folks can do it in a way that thinks that we're keeping their safety in mind as well. But it's going to be an opportunity for there to be the stories, actions that are happening, information needs to be shared with us. We're going to go into the community as well. And so the very first one will be in Los Angeles. It'll be, I think it's quite exciting. And so that's something also.
That's incredible. Yeah, definitely going into the communities is so important. I mean, so much of what happens in immigrant communities, from my experience, just as a guest, right, is word of mouth.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. Yeah. That is the biggest way. I mean, is family coming from Haiti, that's how we learned about everything. You heard it from someone's aunt, someone's cousin, a friend, church, etc. So that's how you really get the word out. And I think when it comes from your own community, you tend to trust that information, right?
So thank you so much for joining us. I know you're the mayor of Long Beach. We've got a Long Beach here in Long Island. It's a little bit different, but I wanted to say thank you. And the first openly gay immigrant congressman. Is that right?
That's right.
That's all correct? Okay. All right. So who's your favorite drag queen in Long Beach, California? We're going to Venmo her in your honor.
Thank you.
I'm going to Venmo her $100. What's her name?
Oh, Jules Long Beach. Actually, Jules Long Beach is my favorite drag queen in Long Beach.
Jules Long Beach. Okay. Yeah. I can't wait for Jules Long Beach to wake up at 4 p.m. and be like, who the hell is this guy is sending me
$100? I'll
Congressman Garcia, sending it under Congressman Garcia's name. So Jules Long Beach, go find her on Venmo or Cash App and send her some money. Tip your drag queens. Thank you, Congressman, for joining us today.
Thank you so much for joining us.
We appreciate your time.
Will do. Thanks, guys.
Thank you. Take good care. Bye-bye. So, Tales from the DM. Friends, please remember, while Michael is a lawyer, he is not your lawyer.
Unless you want to hire me.
I mean, that's a different
I
thing
am.
altogether.
Everyone has a price, and I'm actually pretty cheap. Just ask any of my ex-boyfriends.
Ask me.
This is Maggie from Ojai, and I was wondering if you could explain to me what's happening with banning of birth control pills in this country from a legal perspective. I keep reading about it, but I would love to know in a simple way what is actually happening and how likely this is.
Okay. Great question.
Yeah,
So
really good
this
question.
this is an interesting one because I always feel bad when I have to answer these because it really is, it depends half the time. Like it really does depend on the state you're in.
Yeah.
So right now, birth control is not being banned in the US. I think there is, it's always like the threat of restricting contraceptives for women is always sort of a topic that continues to come up. And
Right.
it is very much these Republicans leap on any opportunity to sort of keep women
Down,
right?
Yeah, for sure.
And it always, anything we talk about, it is always poor people who experience the worst, right?
Right.
People who are experiencing poverty, who
don't have access.
who don't have access it's a way to ensure that poor people remain poor
Mm-hmm.
and that the rich poor gap grows. So federal law and Supreme Court precedent still protect the right to get contraceptives. There is a very famous Supreme Court precedent, Griswold versus Connecticut. It's from 1965, as well as Eisenstadt v. Baird. It's 1972. So these are the Supreme Court precedents that protect a woman's right to contraceptives.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why I can't say that word.
Because you don't have to use
I guess
it.
because I've never gotten a woman pregnant
Mm.
and never even would be in a situation where that would happen.
Never?
We can get into it. We'll
Not
do that
once?
in the off. We'll do that the B-sides.
Okay.
The brief recess after dark. We'll get into that. The end scene 17 after 11 p.m.
I mean,
Do you remember when VH1 or MTV? It was like at night it would become
yes.
softcore porn.
Yeah, it was blue.
It was
It was
it
teal.
would go blue. Yeah. Anyway.
Moving on. Are you okay?
I love when I gag our producer. I love when we get the producers going because they have to listen to me yap all day. So
Get a hold of yourself.
Basically, if contraceptives were under fire, it would get worked up through the court system and eventually go to the Supreme Court, and those precedents would be argued against.
Right.
I would hope that in a situation like this,
Mm-hmm.
there would be extreme public outrage. Like this really would be, even right now with the ways in which Republicans are restricting access to abortion,
Mm-hmm.
it's going to be different. And that's right. A man went on the record and said the word abortion. I know it doesn't happen that often,
Mm-hmm.
but, they have to be really creative with how they do it, right? They say, oh, like the fire code, or, oh, it's going to be a certain number are still within the state, even though they're like 8 hours apart. Like they still have to be kind of creative thinkers when they're trying to do evil. So the same would sort of happen with contraceptives. And also like the sort of expansive nature of America. We think about this a lot with the Commerce Clause, right? Like interstate commerce, the transportation of contraceptives across state lines. I know
Mm-hmm.
of people who, after the election, were like stocking up on Plan B here in New York and like mailing it to southern states.
Mm-hmm.
So it will be something interesting to watch. I haven't really seen it come up that much, but it is a very curious question. Thank you, Maggie.
It really is. I actually wonder what's going to happen, especially, most of the sort of now the Republican Party and MAGA Republicans, they're very much on this, we're doing this with God behind us.
Yes.
And there is this theory for a lot of religions sort of across the board, right? Like make lots of babies.
The last thing, I am happily childless, and maybe we'll add that to my next tattoo as well.
That you were
childless by choice. We come to this place to talk about. Yes, exactly.
You had the choice.
Oh, yes.
Right?
I have all the choices.
Right,
I'm a white man in a suit.
Right.
I can get away with pretty much anything.
Just about.
You have kids. You've got a family. Do you want to tell people about your life and your choices?
I do not have any biological children. I do have a stepdaughter who is lovely, and she and I get along really well. And I love other people's kids. That's who I am. I am perpetually Tati Misa, a.k.a. Auntie Misa. That's who I am. So
I am the uncle. Well, my husband, Brad, is like the fun uncle with the kids. But I'm the uncle where, you know, if you are beefing at school or you need someone to help you buy beer.
Mm-hmm.
You can't call me. I would never do that. I would absolutely never teach you how to roll a joint.
We do not abide.
I only roll ankles, not joints.
He's rolled a couple of ankles.
Both. At the same time. No, you've never seen me wear pleasers.
Hi, this is Daisy from Los Angeles.
Hi, Daisy.
First of all, voiceover actress.
Love, right? And Daisy's a really good name. Whether or not it's your real name or not, I don't know.
I imagine Daisy, what do we think Daisy looks like?
Immediately in my head, Daisy for me is a Latina, right? I think she's got her chola makeup down. I love a chola look.
She's from the South Bronx. Yeah.
I think, she said she's from LA.
Oh.
So I think she's from South LA.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah, I don't know the neighborhoods in LA that well.
Okay, but that's who I think. I think Daisy is fierce, and I think she is got a hoop earring.
Sounds right. No, I think that's right. I think we could open like a whole like booth at a state fair of us just like based on people's voices guessing what they look like. So maybe submit a question and we'll guess what you look like.
Anyway.
I feel like there's so much in the news about Trump trying to pardon P. Diddy or Ghislaine Maxwell.
Not the Diddy shout out, not again, no!
I also wonder why they keep on saying that Ghislaine Maxwell. I feel like everybody's mispronouncing her name. I had an aunt that was her name.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, and that's not how you say it.
How do you say it?
Ghislaine. I don't know who Ghislaine is.
I'm speechless.
Haitians all over are like Ghislaine.
Ghislaine is such like a clunky, flat-footed.
Right.
We've got a big ass flat foot stomping the street.
It's
Ghislaine.
But go ahead. Sorry,
Go
Daisy.
ahead.
And I'm wondering, is there any interesting cases that previous presidents have ever pardoned before, or really controversial ones in the past?
Oh, hell
or are these particularly insane?
I mean, to try and compare American history to what's happening right now is impossible. This is not really, we are sort of living in like the different timeline. But I will say that
none of this is real. This is all a simulation.
There have been a lot of pardons in the past that were like, I mean, pardons are always a little bit controversial. I remember Chelsea Manning's pardoning. People were like, oh my God, but the Arab Spring. And like, there's always sort of like the opposition is always saying, you know.
And it's usually one of those things that a president does on their way out.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah. Like Roger Stone. Trump did that in 2020.
Right.
Paul Manafort, Michael Flynn was in 2020. There was a whole sort of like crop of controversial pardons.
I mean, Biden pardoned his son.
Yeah.
Like that was...
Dad, if you're watching, you better pardon my ass if you're ever in office. I want a pardon.
I might send my kid to the clink. What'd you do? Just out here sullying the family name.
Tell the story of when your dad was on a jury. We might not have enough time for this. We'd have to wait for the next episode.
We'll do it next time.
Okay. Well, yes, there are a lot of examples of this happening throughout history. None of them are as insane as, none of them have anything to do with human trafficking of minors. So that is sort of a wild thing if Trump does decide to pardon, say her name.
Ghislaine Maxwell.
Thank you so much. So that would be unprecedented in such a way that we would probably need a new word that is a synonym for unprecedented that hasn't been invented yet. Anyway, those were the weirdest things people sent me today. Thank you so much, Congressman Garcia, for coming on the show today. I had a great time talking to you.
I always have a good time talking to you.
I'm glad we got it all on the record about Diddy trial. Maybe we'll do a whole Diddy episode.
Maybe.
Thank you for watching Brief Recess. I'm Michael Foote.
And I'm Mélissa Malebranche.
I'll see your ass in court. This has been an Exactly Right production recorded at iHeart Studios, hosted by me, Michael Foote.
And me, Mélissa Malebranche. Our producer is CJ Ferroni.
This episode was edited by Nicholas Galucci.
Our associate producer is Christina Chamberlain, and our guest booker is Patrick Hotner.
Our theme song was composed by Tom Breivogel with artwork from Charlotte Delarue and Vanessa Lilac, with photography by Brad Obono.
Brief Recess is executive produced by Karen Kilgariff, Georgia Hardstark, and Danielle Kramer.
You can find me on Instagram at Department of Redundancy Department or on TikTok at Michael Foote.
And I'm on both Instagram and TikTok as Mélissa Malebranche.
Got legal questions? Reach out at briefrecess@exactlyrightmedia.com. Listen to Brief Recess on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts. And of course, we're a podcast with video. Search for Brief Recess on YouTube.
Hey everybody, here's the thing about other home security systems. They're all designed for after the window breaks, after someone's inside, after you get the notification, after the police come. SimpliSafe is the first system designed for before, stopping a break-in before it even begins.
That's right. Unlike traditional security systems that only alert you after a break-in is already underway, SimpliSafe is designed to help prevent the crime before it starts. Their cameras can detect suspicious activity at the perimeter and alert live U.S.-based agents. Then SimpliSafe's agents assess the threat, intervene, speak through the camera to scare off the intruders, and call for 911 dispatch.
That's right, and SimpliSafe has been protecting your world for 20 years, everybody. So celebrate their anniversary and save 60% on your new SimpliSafe system at simplisafe.com/stuff. That's 60% off, you guys, at simplisafe.com/stuff. Plus, when you order, write in our show name and the How Did You Hear About Us survey to let them know that we sent you. Don't forget, there's no safe like SimpliSafe.
Calling all amateur detectives and podcast obsessives.
Virgin Voyage's second true crime voyage sets sail March 20th, 2027 for a 5-night escape to Grand Turk and the Beach Club at Bimini.
As part of the On Air at Sea collection, this immersive sailing brings together fan favorite podcasts, including Disgraceland, Buried Bones, and Wisecrack, for live recordings, behind-the-scenes access, exclusive meet and greets, and crime-themed programming that you won't find anywhere else.
All aboard our award-winning, kid-free ships.
Head over to virginvoyages.com/truecrime to secure your spot.
Goodbye.
I'm Nancy Glass, host of the Burden of Guilt Season 3 podcast. This is a story about a horrendous situation that destroyed 2 families. It's a scorched earth war that shows just how far someone will go to get what they want.
Cindy said I had to choose between the truth and my family, and I had to choose the truth.
Listen to Season 3 of Burden of Guilt on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.